It has been an interesting year to be a journalist. And when I say interesting, I mean awful. Exhausting and challenging and difficult and demoralizing. But I normally say interesting in social settings when I'm looking for a word that won't offend somebody, when the actual word I'm looking for might be too uncomfortable. But of course, this year, the truth is very uncomfortable. That's been a theme of this year. Earlier this year, the Emir of Kuwait was visiting the White House, and standing next to President Trump in front of the press, he talked about the troubles he was having with the press, the Emir of Kuwait. And President Trump, in an apparent attempt to bond with him, noted that he was happy to hear that the Emir had troubles with the media as well. Of course, in Kuwait, those who criticize the government and the Emir can been and have been jailed or kicked out of the country. And it goes without saying, or I thought it did, that the leaders of the United States need to shine a beacon of liberty for the world and not give comfort to those who oppress people. Unfortunately, and I know this will be of interest for people who read Moment and who love Moment because of the coverage, the important coverage in Moment of the Rohingya people, the persecuted Muslim minority in Myanmar, we see people around the world using President Trump's language to justify what they are doing. In today's New York Times, there was a security official in Myanmar who denied the existence of the Rohingya. Quote, "There is no such thing as Rohingya, it is fake news." Just a week or two ago, after President Trump attacked CNN International, for no apparent reason that I could discern, although it was the same day that Vladimir Putin signed an amendment allowing the Duma and the Kremlin to declare all foreign press to be foreign agents. That's the only explanation I can come up with. Anyway, after he attacked CNN International, Libyan media began questioning an amazing CNN International report had done about African slaves being sold in Libya. And Libyan media were saying, is this fake news? President Trump calls CNN International fake news. Fake news is a term that a year ago, this month, was being used accurately, a descriptive term meaning fake stories being put out there to smear people. There's a pizzeria in Northwest Washington where children are tortured in the basement in a satanic pedophilic cult run by the Clinton campaign. That sort of thing, which ended up with a guy with a gun looking for the dungeons, as we all know. But now this term is being used as a cudgel by President Trump and his vassals to attack stories the president doesn't like. And as we experience this challenging moment in journalism, and as we stand up and we try to stand up for facts and truth and decency, I feel that we in the media need to make sure that we don't give ammunition to those who are seeking to undermine the credibility of the press. We have to make sure that when we go to air or to print or on Twitter, our facts are tight. That we're not choosing sides, that we're asking tough questions of Democrats as well as Republicans, that we're equal opportunity skeptics, that we've crossed every T, dotted every I to make sure our facts are correct. We need to exemplify the work of Bob Greenberger. We need to follow that beacon. I fear, however, and this, you were expressing this just a few minutes ago, that sometimes I fear that the general degradation of the discourse has put everything into a full downward spiral, and other people are being sucked up into this spiral. I see journalists rushing to print, to air, to Twitter, with one source stories that are not accurate, or hot takes, stories that won't withstand serious scrutiny, and it worries me.